The Emperor declared humans unfit for war until Earth's fleet arrived in orbit. Emperor Zethkar adjusted his ceremonial war crown, its crystalline spikes catching the pale light of the throne room's bioluminescent walls. Before him, the assembled War Council of the Valorian Empire waited in respectful silence, their scaled forms arranged in perfect military formation. Today marked the formal assessment of the newest species to petition for inclusion in their galactic confederation, humanity. "Bring forth the human delegation," Zethkar commanded, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. 3 humans entered, escorted by towering Valorian guards. They appeared small and fragile compared to the 8-foot reptilian warriors surrounding them. Ambassador Sarah Chen led the group, flanked by military attaché Colonel Marcus Webb and xenobiologist Dr. Elena Vasquez. Their simple uniforms looked almost pitiful next to the ornate armor of the Valorian court. General Crixtal, the Empire's supreme military commander, stepped forward with a data pad in his clawed hands. "Your Imperial Majesty, we have completed our biological and psychological assessment of the human species. Our findings are disappointing." The Emperor's golden eyes fixed on the human delegation. "Proceed with your report, General." "Humans possess inferior physical capabilities," Crixtal began, his tone clinical. "Their bone density is 20% lower than Valorian standard. Their muscle mass is inadequate for proper combat effectiveness. Most critically, they lack natural weapons. No claws, no fangs, no protective scales or chitin plating." Ambassador Chen maintained her diplomatic composure, though Colonel Webb's jaw tightened perceptibly. "Furthermore," the general continued, "their psychological profile reveals concerning pacifist tendencies. They have organizations dedicated to peace and humanitarian aid. They actually provide medical assistance to their enemies during conflicts. Such weakness of spirit makes them fundamentally unsuitable for membership in a warrior empire." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembled Valorian nobility. Emperor Zethkar leaned back in his throne, considering the report. "Ambassador Chen," the Emperor addressed the human directly, "how do you respond to these limitations?" Sarah Chen stepped forward, her voice steady despite the intimidating surroundings. "Your Majesty, respectfully, I believe your assessment may be incomplete. Humans have survived and thrived through adaptability, technology, and strategic thinking rather than brute force." "Pretty words," scoffed Crixtal, "but war requires strength, not philosophy. Your species has been at peace for over 2 decades. You've grown soft." "Actually," Dr. Vasquez interjected quietly, "humanity has been at peace because we achieved something called mutually assured destruction. We developed weapons so devastating that war became inadvisable." The Emperor's crest flared with interest. "Elaborate." Before Dr. Vasquez could respond, an urgent chime echoed through the throne room. A junior officer rushed in, clearly agitated. "Your Majesty, unknown fleet, detected at the edge of our system. They're requesting immediate audience with the human delegation." The massive viewing screens around the throne room flickered to life, displaying long-range sensor data. What they showed made even the battle-hardened Valorians pause. A massive armada hung in space, hundreds of sleek, angular vessels unlike anything in the Valorian database. "That's impossible," Crixtal breathed. "Our intelligence indicated humans possessed only primitive spacefaring capability." Colonel Webb's expression had shifted to something resembling a grim smile. "You assessed our civilian exploration fleet, General. That was our diplomatic corps." The communications array crackled to life. A stern voice filled the throne room, speaking in accented English before switching to perfect Valorian. "This is Admiral Zhang Wei of the United Earth Defense Fleet. We understand our diplomatic team requires assistance." Emperor Zethkar's claws scraped against his throne's armrests. "How many ships?" "Initial count shows 437 vessels, Your Majesty," the sensor operator reported, his voice trembling. "And they're still decloaking." The number climbed steadily on the displays. 500, 700, 1,000. Ambassador Chen cleared her throat delicately. Your Majesty, perhaps I should clarify something about human nature. We are indeed a peaceful species, when left in peace, but we have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. You see, Dr. Vasquez added, her scientific demeanor unchanged. Humans are persistence hunters. We don't rely on strength or speed. We rely on endurance, planning, and the ability to escalate beyond any reasonable limit when threatened. The sensor count had reached 1,500 ships and was still climbing. General Krickstall's scales had shifted to a pale yellow, a Valorian sign of deep unease. What manner of weapons do these vessels carry? Colonel Webb consulted his wrist communicator. Kinetic bombardment platforms, antimatter warheads, quantum disruption fields, and something Admiral Zhang calls the planet crackers, though I'm sure she's exaggerating. Your Majesty, came Admiral Zhang's voice over the comm. Our diplomatic team was scheduled to depart your system 6 hours ago. They haven't returned to their shuttle. We're concerned. The final count appeared on the screens. 2,314 vessels. The Valorian Empire's entire battle fleet numbered 800 ships. Emperor Zethkar rose slowly from his throne, his ceremonial armor suddenly feeling heavier. He looked down at the three humans who had seemed so small and helpless just moments before. Ambassador Chen, he said carefully, I believe there has been a grave misunderstanding in our assessment process. Sarah Chen smiled politely. These things happen, Your Majesty. Cultural differences can lead to communication breakdowns. Perhaps, the Emperor continued, his voice taking on a more respectful tone, we should discuss the terms of humanity's membership in our confederation, as equals, of course. Of course, Chen agreed. Though I should mention, that fleet out there, that's just our regional defense force. The main battle groups are still back home, maintaining the peace. The throne room fell silent except for the quiet hum of the communication array, where Admiral Zhang's patient voice continued. Standing by for our diplomatic team's safe return. We have all the time in the universe. General Krickstall looked at his emperor, then at the humans, then at the overwhelming display of force on the screens. Perhaps, he said slowly, we should revise our assessment criteria. Emperor Zethkar nodded gravely. Indeed, it seems we have much to learn about the true nature of humanity. As Ambassador Chen and her team prepared to return to their shuttle, now with a full honor guard and hastily prepared treaties of mutual cooperation, the Emperor reflected on an old Valorian proverb. The smallest predator often has the largest teeth. Humanity, it seemed, had very large teeth indeed.